To those of you joining us today, thank you for watching the Woburn Spotlight. I'm your host, Tyler Gates, here to bring you some positivity by talking to those in town making big strides for the greater good. Today I'm fortunate to have with me Bill Murray and Mike Dever from the Blues for Veterans Association here in Woburn. Gentlemen, welcome.
It's good to be back.
Been a full year.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
Things coming up in a couple of weeks, so
I know.
we're already under the gun now. It's
Under the gun.
under the gun.
So for anyone new to the show or just hasn't heard about Blues for Veterans yet, do you mind just giving us a little backstory, how you came up with it, where it started, and we'll kind of go from there?
Well, 6 years ago, in January, I think I was looking at Library Park and just thinking, wouldn't it be nice to have a blues festival here? And then a friend of mine, Tommy Doherty, who worked for the city, come up and says, "Hey, Mike, what are you doing?" I says, "Well, I'm just looking out here thinking maybe we could have a Library Park Blues Festival." He goes, "Wow, that sounds pretty good." And next thing you know, it got rolling. He said, "I'd like to help," and so on and so forth. And Billy and I are members at the American Legion here in Woburn, and a few other people, you know, mostly veterans, but not all, said they'd like to be on the committee. Mark Gaffney, who's on the city council here, he's on our committee, on the executive board. And it just, we sat down at a meeting, our first meeting, and we said, well, what do you want to name ourselves? And we're just coming up with all these names for an organization, and somehow somebody said Blues for Veterans, and
It stuck.
it just stuck, yeah. So,
Yeah, we're a 501c3 corporation. Our logo is a registered trademark.
Tell me a little bit more about the logo. We
Mike?
spent some time there last year. I know it's
well, this was done by Janet McGurty, who's
Okay.
an art teacher here in the Woburn
I
Public
knew
Schools.
there was a story to it.
I was a custodian up at the Alta Vesta, and she was the art teacher. And I can remember we were working on it. I said, "Janet, I'd like you to come up with," I says, "Yeah, could you make the chair a little more rickety?" You know, because she had just
chair.
a normal chair. I said, "Well, how about a blue chair?" And then we come up with this weird color blue. I don't know what it is, but and that was the chair. And then how about a harmonica on that chair?
I love it.
And she picked out the red, white, and blue guitar, and for veterans, she threw that color guard in the background there.
Yeah.
People don't always
Subtle,
see that.
subtle.
Yeah.
It shows up better on your shirt, I think,
Right.
there
Yeah.
than the white. But no, it's subtle, but it's nice. Very
So
nice.
that became it, and that's our logo.
Yeah.
and-
Did a great job. Was that at the same
love it.
time of the origination, or is the logo new?
No, it was at
Oh,
the
same time.
origination.
I was just
Yeah,
curious.
It was,
I couldn't
it was
remember.
there for the first Blues Festival flyer.
Okay.
So that was our first official fundraiser.
And it was on our first T-shirt as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did that first one go? Let's spend some time
Well,
there.
not to be, I'm usually a pathological optimist, but the first one was a home run.
Okay.
We had the best one that we've had yet.
Really?
We don't know whether it was, we know it was in the lineup because we've had a similar lineup again. It might have been the new car smell. We had a lot of Woburn people
Really?
down there the first year. We had a motorcycle run in conjunction with it, so that might have drawn some people. But the first one was a home run.
Really?
What was the attendance, Mike?
Well, I don't know what the actual attendance, but we did sell, I think, like 1,200 tickets or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Phenomenal. And,
Yeah.
and to put that in perspective, what did you do last year, if you remember off the
She
top
had
of your head?
900 and
Ni-
change.
Okay,
900,
but it
yeah.
was still a
Yeah,
couple $100
but
difference.
the first year was the best year so
First
far.
year was good. The next year, it was down a little bit. The next year was way down, in a sense. And then we kind of figured out it could be the month of August.
Yeah.
It was hot as heck,
That's a
and people are
challenge,
away on
yeah.
vacation.
Yeah.
You know, and we moved it into September 2 years ago, and all of a sudden our number rose right back up to like 850 or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And 9 something. And this year we're hoping for a little more.
Summer is tricky.
We were competing with a couple of other events too, in that August weekend, so.
Right. There was another blues festival in Westford in the Neshoba Valley.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, there's only room for so many blues festivals, so to speak. You know, so.
So
The-
we're
the
sticking with this.
the demographic of blues fans is kind of a small pie,
Yeah.
you know?
Okay.
So we
that's
want
fair.
as big a piece of that pie as we can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we moved it. We're not competing with as many people, especially locally, which is great.
Yeah.
It's been in September, you said, for 2-3 years now?
This is the third year in September.
Okay.
And we think it's perfect.
Here to stay.
Perfect time of year. September's a real
Nice to be
month.
outside, absolutely.
And everybody's back from vacation, so the kids are around at school. So
Yep.
you kind of captive. You bring your kids down. I'm just saying.
I laugh, but
They
you're
get
right.
soccer
Yeah.
and whatnot,
Yeah.
so you say, hey,
Yeah.
there's something to do for
Couple
the
hours,
afternoon.
yeah.
I think it's kind of a break for the parents after football camp and soccer and school starting.
Gosh, yeah.
Come on down and have some fun.
And I know a lot of families right now, from just my experience, are rushing to get that 1 week vacation or long weekend in.
Sure.
Exactly.
They're just cramming. Everyone's cramming.
And that's something that we all felt was happening. In the August one, you're looking at the weather and going, wow, it's going to be really nice, honey. And then the kids are going back to school in another 2 weeks. Let's go. And
You
they
want to
just,
try to get up to
on
Winnipesaukee
short notice,
or
they
Yeah.
just
whatever it is for 4 days?
took
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, we
So
were
our
competing
festival
with
didn't
that,
hold.
people trying to get that last mini vacation in
Right.
when
Yeah.
we had it in August.
I think it was a good move.
So
Yeah.
it worked out very well.
You don't need me to say it was a good
Yeah.
move.
Well, it
I
was
think
good.
you,
The
think
numbers
you,
have borne it out.
I think
Yeah.
you've seen that. Yeah.
We've really been having a lot of fun with it, really. That's
Yeah.
been it's who we are now. I guess it's part of who we are.
Absolutely.
It's grown into an annual thing. The minute they play the last note at the festival this year, we'll already be thinking of who we're going to hire for next year. We have 3 nights of blues at the American Legion that, kind of a spin-off.
Didn't know that.
We just started sponsoring music at the Bedford VA. We usually sponsor either somebody solo or a couple of guys with guitars or guitar and harmonica. Mike went to an event, we sponsored an event at the Soldiers Home in Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah.
And we're looking this year to add the New England Center for Homeless Veterans. So we sponsor the music. Members of our organization show up and represent the
Goes
organization.
around, pass out some
Yeah.
T-shirts and
Yeah.
some of the stuff we've been doing has been in the memory units over there.
Yeah.
And so a lot of
That's-
these people have Alzheimer's, dementia. There's people that we know from Woburn that are over there. It's just they have some things that just physically make them incapable of moving around.
It's something that affects my family, so I understand. And
Yeah.
there's something to be said about music, especially
Yeah.
music from the past. If it resonates, sometimes it really resonates with
Right.
people. Never goes
Yeah.
away.
A lot of them are wheelchair bound, and once the set gets going, you'll catch somebody tapping one
Tapping their
finger, tapping a foot. Some of them are ambulatory, and they'll get up and dance with staff. It's really, it's the epitome of our mission, because our mission is A, helping veterans, B, keeping live music going. So here we are providing both things at the VA, and to me, it's the best money we spend.
That's
It's a good
something.
time. Some of them
Yeah.
really do. They're having a great time. And there was one gentleman who was over there that we're looking at pictures with his son and everything. And this guy was a guitar teacher in this area for a long time. And we're seeing pictures here. He is playing with Frank Sinatra,
Judy Garland. Yeah.
So this guy was a
Wow.
big
Yeah.
time.
Big
He was
time.
an
Guitar
A-list player.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah.
I didn't know you guys traveled around and did that. I'm glad you
Yeah.
shared that.
Well, that's something we started, and it's really caught, and we like it. The musicians, they
Yeah,
like it. It's
yeah.
a nice early day, going to wherever.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a good time,
Mike, why don't you tell them how to get to the festival, what it costs?
Yeah, please
The fact
do.
that children under 12 accompanied by adults are free.
Right.
Okay.
So it's at Library Park, which is on Harrison Ave. It's right behind the Woburn Public Library, across from the police station. There's 2 beautiful ball fields out there. Snooky DeLong is the parks, in charge of the parks, and he does a beautiful job.
Wonderful
and that's
job.
Yeah.
Not that all of them don't look good. The Common looks great, this and that.
He
but
tries
that's
a
kind of
little
like the
extra hard.
crown jewel
Yes.
of the city.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's manicured, unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so people come in there, bring their chairs, their hats, their sunglasses, sit down, dance around in that, take the shoes off, and just have a nice day. We set up that stage, just push a button, and boom, the thing pops open. It's a nice It's a very nice stage, wonderful sound. We spend a lot of money on
Yeah.
stage and sound, but we want it to be
Yeah.
top-notch. Anybody who's played there, and these are some of the top-notch musicians in the area and around the country even, and they love it. They love playing there, and we pull them in, we get them right up on stage. They don't have to go walking miles from their car, dragging stuff around.
Yeah.
We take good care of them, you know, just water, something to eat. You know, Paul McGilvery from the Greens Grill in Woburn, over at Woburn Country Club, he donates all the food for the VIP tent. And so the musicians eat in there, people who give us, you know, a good donation, they get tickets and they get to go in there. Paul McGilvery
All our
lets us-
volunteers.
All our volunteers.
Yeah.
Paul
That
McGilvery's
is
friends.
nice.
Really, you know, he wants people to eat there. He puts out a great spread earlier in the day
food.
and then later in the day as well. So they do it twice. And he's done that for us the entire time we've been there. This will be his 6th year. He loves doing it.
6 years. I mean, that's.
I'm going to give them the lineup, Mike, all right?
Okay.
I was just gonna
Yeah.
say, what's different this year? We've had 6 of them now.
I don't
I'd love
mean
to hear
to
the
take your
lineup.
job away from you, Tyler.
You want to sit here because you got all the questions. I love it. No.
Opening the festival is a ton of blues.
Okay.
They're a journeyman band out of the Leominster area. They've won several awards for the Worcester blues scene, and they're just a lot of fun. I was lucky to be invited to a party by my brother-in-law, and this guy loves music, he loves the blues, and he hired these characters, and he hired a couple of other guys to play in his garage at his home in Bolton. So I met them, and I got their info, and that's usually how we get the bands. Either they get recommended, or Mike. The first year, Mike found a bunch of them on YouTube and other festivals. But next up is L&M Rhythm Kings. And L&M Rhythm Kings, they're out of, I'm not exactly sure, I'm going to say Groton area. But they open up for Ronnie Earl and the Broadcasters, so they're a bona fide band. And then after that, we have the Michael Vincent Band. I happened to catch Michael at a couple of gigs at the Laconia motorcycle event.
Small place that
And I
people
saw
might
him a
recognize.
couple of small venues 2 years ago, and I just said he'd be great in Woburn. He plays in the Guilford, New Hampshire area, but he's a smart young man because he also has a residence down in Gulfport, Mississippi area. So he goes down there for 6 months, he comes up here so people aren't getting sick of him. Next up is a real bona fide Chicago blues man. It's Rockin' Johnny Bergen.
Okay.
He's a trio. He's very good. And then really soul, blues, gospel, rock royalty is Tony Lynn Washington Band. And she's been around since the 70s. And it's a treat to have her. I tried to get her a couple of times, but everything worked out this year. And then the headliner is Anthony Garassi and the Hypnotics. And they're basically all Boston guys. And they're just a phenomenal band. I think everybody will love the lineup.
They seem to always love the lineup,
Yeah.
so I got faith in you that it
Yeah.
will be a great lineup this year.
And we have a good flow throughout the day. Billy keeps everything running on time. He makes sure those guys, because, you know, musicians, they can tend to be up there just lollygagging around and doing this and that. And
Yeah.
if you're supposed to be on at 7:15, we want you on at 7:15.
As Mike says, we got to keep the trains on time.
Correct.
Running on time.
So you kind of set the stage of where it is. Do you mind talking a little bit about cost? People, I think you said kids get in, and
it's
what
$20,
time it goes.
$20, and
Unless you want to pay more.
unless you want, yeah.
Hey,
if you wanna make-
donations are
That's
accepted
right.
and
Certainly.
encouraged.
Right, that's
Absolutely,
right.
it's going to a good cause.
Children 12 and under are free.
Okay.
And like I say, it's a beautiful location. This year we have Kelly's roast beef is
Yep.
going to be doing most of the food for us, if not all of the food. I think they are the sole proprietor this year. And they're going to do roast beef sliders, lobster sliders, and they're doing a combination of a roast beef and lobster slider, one and one. You know, with onion rings, French fries, hot dogs, burgers, all that kind of stuff. And you know, that food's excellent. So they're going to be handling that for us. And then we got Ben and Jerry's Ice Cream, who they've been with us for the last 3 years, I believe. This will be their 3rd year. And everybody loves Ben and Jerry's Ice Cream, you know, especially me. And,
I'm going to
I was
agree. I love
lobbying
it.
hard for that. Kelly's will have fried dough as well. And like I say, the kids can run around and just have a good time. People don't realize it, that, you know, once you bring your kids in and let them run around out in center fields, you know, you can relax. They're not going to get in any trouble. You
No.
can sit there and listen to the music and have a good day.
Get to see a
It's
lot of
really
familiar
become
faces.
quite the gathering,
Yeah, that's
annual gathering. A lot of people
Yeah.
come, and then the next thing you know, and we keep the beer up there so they're a little away. They're not bothering people talking while they're trying to listen to music,
Yep.
you know?
That's fair.
So,
Huh.
And the festival runs from 1 to 8:30 at night, so
Okay.
for some folks, if they can't make the whole thing, there's plenty of music.
plenty of music.
Plenty of time.
Come late, come early.
Yep.
When's Anthony and the Hypnotics come on? What's
Anthony
headliner
is going to
time?
go on at approximately 7 o'clock,
Okay.
and he'll play a 75-minute set.
Nice 75-minute set.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
and he'll have 15 minutes for encore if he wishes.
All right. It's
Yeah.
good to know. So we
Yeah.
got to go out in full force. And
Yeah.
encourage him to stay on.
Yes.
It's funny, these are all local guys. I went
Yeah.
to see Little Feet, a band, New Orleans band, a few weeks ago up at the Beverly Cabot Theater in Beverly, I should say. And I ran into somebody from the L&M Rhythm Kings. I was passing out our flyers,
And they-
and this woman said, "Oh, we're going to that."
Yeah.
And they stopped and talked, and this guy, I forget his first name, his last name was Longo, but
Yeah.
he's the keyboard player for the L&M Rhythm Kings.
Yeah.
Small world.
Mark
Longo,
Longo.
yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And, so it was just funny, small
That is
world
funny.
out there,
Yeah,
and
really is.
small musical world.
So one of the fun things that I know you guys do, and this has become kind of a trademark of the day itself, is giving away of the guitar. That's
Yeah.
signed by the entire lineup. Do you mind spending a little bit of
You
time
mind
just
if I
talking
grab
about it? No, not at all. Let's look at it. It's Sunburst,
Okay.
I think you said was the color
Yeah,
this year?
it's sunburst finish, and this is a Fender Standard Stratocaster.
Okay.
It's sunburst, as we say. It's a maple neck with a rosewood fretboard. This is a professional grade instrument. This isn't a toy. This in the case goes for about $550. That's what we paid for it. So we're going to sell 300 tickets, $100 each. I mean, excuse me, $10 each.
$10 each.
That would be good, huh,
Make some
Mike?
good money, yeah.
And you don't have to be present at the festival if you buy one and you can't make the festival. If you buy one at the festival and you go home, we will find you.
Okay.
Okay?
Fair enough.
What was I going to say? And if you people in the TV world would like a ticket, I'm going to give you my phone number. It's 781
Perfect.
953 5005. My name is Bill Murray. I will get to you. Okay?
Wonderful. And this has been a tradition for all 6 years, correct?
We started on the second year.
Oh, I
yeah.
didn't know that. I
Yeah.
misspoke.
Yeah.
That was something that we added.
Great addition.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Excellent.
I may add, it's going to be signed by all the musicians at the festival. So it's not just a good instrument, it'll be one of a kind.
It really will be. And
Yeah.
I know from people in town that that's a hot ticket. That
Yeah.
certainly can be.
We had one of our guys, he won it, and he did a clear coat over all the names because they're signed with a Sharpie, and he's got it hanging somewhere. He doesn't even use it
Yeah.
because he feels it's a keepsake.
Yeah, when you think of Ronnie
Yeah.
Earl or Duke Robillard or, you know, some big-time players,
Yeah.
you know, signing that guitar, that's pretty cool, unique.
It really is unique in itself.
I'm hoping to win.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy my tickets.
And we'll have somebody going around the festival during the breaks and selling it. That's where we sell most of the tickets.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we send them around with it.
And we always sell these T-shirts too. This was last year's edition,
Okay.
right here. This is with our logo on there, and just what it says. And then you get all the bands on the back. Last year was Ronnie Earl and the Broadcasters, and a bunch of others, and Lawless Chrysler is one of our big sponsors, and they get their name on our shirt. And this is the third year, I think, that Lawless has been
right.
with us all along, but they became a major sponsor a couple of years ago. So
Yeah.
they really have stepped up and given us a lot of money, a lot of support. They send their people down there. You know, we let people test drive their cars, whatever, you know, whatever's going on.
It
So
sounds like a good partnership
them-
from
yeah.
what I know of them. They've been very
is.
active in the veteran space, and it sounds like a match made in
Great.
heaven, so that's good.
And I don't know how much more time we have, but I'd be remiss if I didn't thank all of the musicians, all of our volunteers, which are many, all of our sponsors, which we wouldn't be able to operate without.
Correct.
And I want to thank the patrons to all of our events, not just the Blues Festival.
And people are enjoying it. Even our events down the Legion have grown. We do one in November, February, and April. And if you just go on our website, bluesforveterans.org, you'll see those things coming up. And they've grown. You know, it's
Yeah.
just a nice night out. $10, you're getting 2 bands, and you can bring your own snacks and whatnot. We sell pizza and popcorn,
Yeah.
but it's a really nice event.
Yeah.
Starts early, gets over relatively early, you know, by 11. And
The next one is November 17th
Yeah.
of this year.
Okay.
And we're going to have, the Other Brothers will open, and Peter Hi-Fi Ward and the Electric Blues is the headliner. And he's been all over the world. We've had some real good bands come just to the American Legion,
Right.
you know?
The 17th. Is that a Thursday? Or
Saturday.
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 I don't know why I was thinking
Yeah,
that was
November
midweek.
17th.
we always do
Okay,
'em on
Saturday. Good to
And-
know.
and
That's
we
why I
s-
asked.
We started that event really just to give back to our patrons. We
Yeah.
only charged $10 to get in for 2 bands. And we ended up making a couple of bucks every time. We've
Right.
never been in the red with that event.
we do a 50-50 raffle, and some nights that can be a substantial amount of money.
Certainly.
Yeah.
And, it's really worked out fantastic. It seemed like overkill. Some people say, "Oh, well, you're going to do one every..." No, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a call for it.
Absolutely.
You know? People looking for a night out. February's a cabin fever. That's always the biggest one for us.
Yeah.
You know, people looking to get out.
I wouldn't have
And
thought of that, but yeah.
It's
Yeah.
been great. The biggest one, and the other ones are comparable. It's not, you know, we've had 1 dog out of the whole time, and that was during a snowstorm.
Yeah, and we
you know,
still
and we
were
still
in the
made
black.
money. We still were in the
Still in the black.
You know,
And we offer some diverse bands. We try to get a headliner that's, like I said before, the blues demographic is small, but they're very savvy to the music, and they know what they want to hear. So we won't hire a band that isn't going to get them up dancing, you know? We have some tables that come, and they're on the dance floor all night, you know?
and
Is
we
there-
have some that are the same.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
same people. They get a table at
Every
every
time.
event.
Yeah.
And it works out pretty good. It's like Old Home Week.
You guys seem like you have this figured out at this point, but is there anything that you guys see as an opportunity that you really might need a hand with? Is it more sponsorships? Is it people just coming out to the event?
Well,
what do you need the
Anybody
most?
that can give us muscle
Yeah.
on Friday
On-
morning, setting
yeah.
up the barriers.
Yeah,
and
Friday,
everything.
Friday morning,
Okay.
Big.
the 14th of September.
Yeah.
We start setting up the field at 9 o'clock, and we're usually there waiting for either the portable toilets or the generator. We're there till 5 or 6. But if somebody could show up at 9, we have barriers to set up, we have signage to hang, we have helping with tents. We could use, if anyone wants to volunteer, just, I gave you my phone number
Me and
already.
Billy still got it, but we don't got it the way we used to have it. You know?
So the 15th is the big day, but if
Yeah.
somebody wants to help out, please
Yeah,
feel free
anytime
to.
after 9 o'clock on the 14th
Your help
at
will be
Library Field.
Right.
needed. Yeah.
And just one other thing for the people who aren't from Woburn. It's ambiguous. If you look at the address for Library Field, it shows up in the phone book as 63 Harrison Avenue. If you go to 63 Harrison Avenue, you're going to be down by Burlington Street, or halfway to Burlington Street. The best address, it's 16 Harrison is
Okay.
probably the best.
The best.
And if you have to GPS it, just GPS 25 Harrison Avenue, which is the police headquarters, and we're
You
right
can't
across the
miss
street.
it at that
Yeah,
point, right?
exactly.
Look up Woburn Police and
Yeah.
it'll get you right here.
You'll be
Yeah.
right there. Well,
Yeah.
good. Well,
Nice.
I'm excited to be there this year. I know I couldn't make it last year, so I'm looking forward to it. Stage is yours. We have about a minute or two left. Is there
Yeah.
anything that you'd like to say to the viewers? Anyone watching today?
Well, you won't be sorry you came, and people, bring your children down. It's a good way to get rid of them for a couple hours. You can relax and they can run around and have a good time. I won't say get rid of them, but they can play. You can play with them down there.
There'll be a bunch of
It's
kids.
just it's
Yeah.
a nice venue. Just come in, make a donation, get your kids an ice cream.
And
check
part,
it out.
part of the thank yous I'd like to add is the city of Woburn.
Okay.
Along with Woburn Public Media, I don't want to forget
Right.
you. But from the mayor down, the mayor, the building department, Tom Quinn, conservation, we wouldn't have the festival without them. It's their venue. And we have to go through all of the proper channels to set it up.
Recreation's
So-
been a big help.
Recreation.
Good.
Everybody's vying to get that field for different things, so
Yeah,
it's really, the city has supported us strong from day one.
Good.
And it's been a great event, really.
glad
has.
to-
the first year we were on double secret probation because oh my God, it's Mike Dever and Bill Murray from the West Side, they're gonna serve alcohol, all of this. And so we were really scrutinized the first year,
Right.
in which they did their due diligence.
Yeah.
There's been
But-
zero trouble, none of these festivals have created any, they have too many police officers down
Yeah.
there. Now they know they don't need as many, because it's nothing.
Sounds like a great family
No.
event.
It's
Show
a
up
family event and just
September
have a good time.
15th.
Yep.
1 to 8. Kids under 12 free.
Yeah.
Right? There's just a whole lot of possibilities for the
Correct.
day.
Exactly.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you guys for coming in
Been a
again.
great-
Thanks for
We'll
having us.
see you again hopefully sooner than next
We'll
year.
see you Saturday the
Mike,
15th.
always a
Saturday
pleasure.
the
Bill,
15th.
always a pleasure.
See you, thank you.
And thank you all for watching today's show with Bill Murray and Mike Dever.
you very much.
Remember, we all have
you.
one life to live. Let's all do our part. I'm your host, Tyler Gates. Join us again next time for another episode of the Woburn Spotlight.